Hello everyone and welcome. A common question I've gotten across both Smash 4 and Ultimate is, how do you keep playing Smash Bros and not burning out? What is it that keeps you going despite the current meta, despite the online being what it is? The answer is extremely simple actually. One of the core appealing aspects of Smash Bros as a franchise is picking your favorite characters from your favorite games and duking it out, right? That's precisely what I've been doing this whole time. All the way from Smash 64 till Ultimate, I've just been playing my favorite characters in every single game. And yes, that means playing them in tournaments regardless of how high they score in the competitive tier list. That just doesn't matter to me, and it shouldn't matter to you either. So that is today's topic, playing with your heart instead of your brain. Why play what's considered good when you can have fun? I swear people forget to have fun in these games. I'd like to go into my history in Smash Bros and how that helped me keep at it. I've always been someone who plays characters from their favorite games, and that's something that's been consistent throughout my whole life. I grew up with the N64, so the games I was first introduced to was Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time. Who did I play the most? Link. In Melee, my favorite franchise was still Zelda, so I played a lot of Link and Young Link. However, I got into Fire Emblem because of Marth and Roy, and thus I played Roy a ton too. Marth was cool, but like, Roy hits hard and has fire effects, so he's cooler. Yes, this is foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a literary device where, by the time Brawl came out, I was a fully fledged Fire Emblem fan who came hot off of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Who did they add? Ike, of course. My favorite Fire Emblem character to this day. Brawl was also the first game I competed in. Up until that point, I had just played with friends. I won my first tournament held at a nearby electronics store and went like 0-2 on the second one. After that I just played with friends and online, but I was truly hooked at that point. I remember I'd spend weekends playing Brawl online with a matchmaking site. Life was good. Ike also made me realize what I like to have with a Smash character. Disjoints and the ability to blow people up over bad habits or mistakes. Yes, this is also foreshadowing. By the time Smash 4 came out, I was shoulder deep in Xenoblade. Who did they add? Shulk. I vividly remember rewatching his reveal trailer 50 times a day until release. I was so normal about it. Shulk was the only character I never dropped. I played him from start to finish and god, he was just so much fun. I still played Ike, Robin and Corrin a ton. Listen, I was the biggest Fire Emblem fanatic on the planet at the time, but Shulk was my goat. He was so fun to me that I kept playing the game even after a majority of my friends had moved on. The amount of improvement I saw during the final year of Smash 4 just because of Shulk was honestly insane. I wanted to improve and push Shulk as far as possible because I loved him so much. And that alone is what kept me going. Learning tech, pushing the character, and learning bad matchups. You know, the works. So I truly settled into my own competitively with Smash 4. Making it to top 8s at locals multiple times. Using mid-tiers like Ike, Robin, and Shulk, by the way. I told you I was living the life. Smash Ultimate is truly something special, and I think I speak for all of us when I say that. Sakurai bringing back every playable character was fantastic, but it also meant I had far too many choices. Who am I gonna play now? In terms of a timeline, I began Ultimate playing Ike and Pichu because I love those guys to bits. They happened to be top tiers too at the time, which was just a funny coincidence. I think I spent most of the first 2 years making videos on these two as well. So I was living the life going 2-on-2 or better at tournaments consistently and having a wonderful time doing it. Then the big world event happened in 2020 and I couldn't compete anymore, so I focused harder on making videos for the YouTube channel. Pichu became harder to play online, plus people better understood how to play against them, so I dropped him after a while. If I'm not having fun, I'm not having fun. Ike was sort of in the same boat, although I played him for a bit longer. People understood how simple his game plan really was and adapted accordingly. Byleth came out, and as a resident Fire Emblem fan, I was obligated to at least try them out. Turns out they were exactly what I like in a character plus Fire Emblem, so I was set for a while. Range? Check. Power? Check. Weird tech to get into? Also check. And I played Byleth up until Pyra and Mythra were added. God, I wish I had recorded my reaction because I was so excited to an unhealthy degree. Listen, Pyra is one of my favorite characters of all time. Her being added was the best thing that could ever happen to me. She ticked all the right boxes in terms of what I like in a character, she's one of my favorites from a beloved franchise, and she's top tier. It was too good to be true. Except it wasn't. This was very much real. When your favorite character gets added to Smash and they're good, It's a feeling like no other, and I know I'm not the only one to experience that. And even after 4 years, I'm still going super strong playing Aegis, making videos, developing their meta, and sharing everything I come across on the channel. I'm very fortunate that I have a YouTube channel I can funnel all my stupid hyperfixations into, and Aegis is no different. So that was my Smash timeline. Why did I bring this up? I've seen friends, acquaintances, and other players alike switch away from their favorites because they're mid-tier or lower, heck even high-tier sometimes. And I get it, sometimes decisions like that have to be made in order to tip the odds in your favor. If you play a better character, you're more likely to win, right? They try to make it work with a new character, but there's no passion or love behind it. In the pursuit of winning, they lose sight of what was actually important. They stop having fun, they hate the game, burn out, and then leave. Not always, but I've seen that pipeline happen way too many times to count. I'm sure you've heard the saying, if you love your job, you won't work a single day in your life. When you play a character you truly love, it's a lot easier to keep going because playing the game doesn't feel like a chore. You'll learn and improve much faster too, because guess what? You're having fun. Of course there will always be hurdles to get over, but that happens regardless of how good your character is or what skill level you're at. You'll be much more willing to overcome those challenges if you're having fun while doing it. Loving and believing in your character goes so far. MKLA or Twig wouldn't have been able to bring Byleth and Diddy Kong as far as they have without loving and believing in the characters, right? This is why they'll always be two of my favorite players of all time. And if they can push their characters to the limit, anyone can. The only one stopping you from doing that is, you, actually. If you ever feel like not playing a character you love in bracket because they're quote-unquote not good enough, reevaluate what that means. Not good enough for others, or not good enough for you. Like, who cares what other people think? If you want to play a character, go for it. I would like for more people to become character specialists. Let yourself hyperfixate on your favorite character and push them to the limit. Heck, make them your special interest. I promise you'll have far more fun than just picking a random top tier from a tier list. Also, not everyone can do this, but making a YouTube channel where you document and share things you discover while on your journey is pretty helpful. It's probably not everyone's cup of tea to play characters where it's on your shoulders to develop their meta, but I personally find that very fun and rewarding. You might say, Base, you play Aegis. And to that I say, yes I do. Every character I've ever played, I've delved super deep into, exploring everything I possibly could, regardless of their place on a tier list, and Aegis is no different. Most of what I've learned about them I've researched, labbed, and experienced myself. People consider them so easy that there's little to no resources outside of tournament sets to use, so I took it upon myself to make those resources. Let's also not forget that I'm a pyra player first and foremost. I've had the pleasure of labbing and experimenting with her to my heart's content, and I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. Another point I want to bring up is by playing your favorites, you'll help catch up to characters in the lower tiers. The biggest reason why some characters are mid and low tiers is because people simply aren't playing them. And if they had a bigger player base, they would instantly rise up the tiers. The Smash community needs to see things in order to believe them, so get on it. Stat. Japan has been doing this for years. I think the rest of the world should follow suit. Ultimate is such a balanced game that you can make anyone work. Just give them a little bit of love and they'll go far for you. Granted, sometimes your favorite character is a top tier and it's easier, but I still wholeheartedly recommend picking your favorite characters and take them as far as you can. You'll probably lose a lot at first, but that's okay. It's just part of the process and you should trust the process. Things will smooth out for you eventually, just keep at it and you'll see results. And if not, you'll have fun at least. In any case, I've rambled on long enough. I hope it was coherent. Thanks for watching, and take care.